Welcome to Exchange Rates UK TV. It is the 21st of March, 2022. Taking a look here at Cardano. Cardano doing multiple time frame analysis here. Some of it's an update, some of it's new. Volume here is really at an all-time low and has been, at or near an all-time low for pretty much ever since you could go back to, really October of last year, and it's really continued to kind of dip further south. But seeing a little bit of a recovery here on the dailies and the weekly. But I do want to again call your attention to this green arrow that popped up here in this oscillator. It's a custom indicator, and I worked on that a long time ago. But it's been very very good at identifying areas to look at for entry long and short over long term time frame. So that's what's happening here on Cardano's chart. On the 3 chart looks very much like there's a bottom being established. On the weekly chart, you have, oops, sorry, this should be the weekly chart, not the 3-week. Weekly chart, you can see like that the weekly chart that closed, the weekly candlestick that closed last week was on higher volume than the last 2 weeks. Still very low relative to previous traded weeks, but it was the first week that the close is above the open, and including that week in 6 weeks. And you can even see when you look to the past all the way to September that you just don't see a whole ton of bullish closes at all, really. And yeah, so whether that's going to continue or not remains to be seen, but I think it's going to continue. There's some pressure up here that we should expect Cardano to face at the $1 level. That's where the 50% fib retracement is at. And that's also where the weekly Tenkan-sen is at. So probably going to see some pressure up there as it moves up, but we'll see if there's enough momentum behind it to keep it higher. Then that brings us to, from an oscillator perspective, I think we should expect to see a very strong rally, especially when you look at, let me change this here, 30 to 20. It is in bear market conditions. We're in between overbought and oversold on the RSI. The composite index had a nice bounce off of the the composite index. The Chico span had a nice bounce off of the bottom of the cloud. Most important oscillator condition here is what's happening in the composite index. You can see that it's sitting in relatively flat zone here, kind of in the mid, and then it crosses above both of its moving averages. So that's a very very bullish signal, and one that we should watch and pay attention to. Then we get to the daily chart, and the daily chart is showing so far that the volume is approaching what yesterday's was, and which is odd that the week Saturday and Sunday had higher volumes than like every single weekday of the past month, last 30 days. But what's interesting about this daily candlestick, and I think this is a very bullish signal, is that Saturday there was this awesome close that broke out above the Kijun-sen, then it pulled back down, and right on kind of, I don't know if that was marginally, pretty much right on top of the Kijun-sen. Then that's where we opened the current daily, and now we've traded higher. If it closes right where it's at, we'll have a bullish engulfing candlestick on the daily chart. We haven't had one of those in a while, and that could again yield to some very very strong and continued price action moves higher. So again, as it gets closer to $1, probably going to see a lot more selling pressure come in. It's been a strong area, psychological zone, lots of technicals, hitting that. But also wouldn't be surprised to see it just burst right through that, given how overdone it is on the monthly, the 3-week, and the weekly charts. It could have some big spikes up. So that's something to look out for. Other than that, that does it for me on Cardano. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll update this as needed. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.